Hi, Abraham. My name is Daniel. I feel very blessed to be able to interact with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you make your own blessings, don't you?
I've managed to experience quite a lot of intense contrast this life. And it's felt like hell and heaven and agony and ecstasy. And who've hated me, people who've loved me, and...
well, just a little aside. When you're in the vortex, those who aren't always hate you. When you're out of the vortex, those who are in the vortex always love you.
Thank you. So it's felt like I've been burning the candle at both ends a lot, and I would like to know if there's any biological situation that I need to deal with, because I feel like I've been a little on the edge, possibly with my heart.
Well, nothing biological, but anything that eventually becomes biological was energetic to begin with, and there's always something energetic to begin with, always something to be brought into closer balance there, you see. So when you think about, you said something as you were beginning here about, or maybe it wasn't words you spoke, maybe it was just a vibration that you were offering in a powerful way. But this notion of burning the candle at both ends, what is usually meant by that is there's not enough of me to go around. I'm going too many directions at once, or I have too many things to do. What did you mean when you said burning the candle at both ends?
I think I meant experiencing almost too much of both polarities. Like a lot of my...
Well, you see, there's a flaw in that premise, if that's what you mean. And so let's clear this up just a little bit. Because, first of all, do you acknowledge the way we've been depicting your human form? Do you get it that you, in your physical body, are an extension of this source energy? So, yes. And there's no burning that candle, because that source and resource, that's always an infusing. So there's nothing being used up in this eternal nature that is you. There's no source of lack. There's just pinching off source. There's no source of darkness. There's just disallowing light. There's no source of sickness. There's just disallowing wellness, you see. And so this burning the candle at both ends can't be. It's a flawed premise. But you can view yourself in a way that you pinch yourself off from it. So you're depriving yourself of resources that are there for you. But so what? Doesn't really matter, does it? If you're depriving yourself of resources, and some maniac who's not named Abraham is not depriving themselves of resources, just because we say your resources are here, when you can't see them, you can't see them. In other words, we understand how it feels when you're outside of the vortex and it feels like there's not enough of you to go around. The reason that we sort of honed in on that burning the candle at both ends thing is because when people get stressed, it's almost always because you are counting too much on your behavior and not enough on vibrational alignment. And we want you to realize that if you would reduce your effort and energy just for a day or two, you could do it for just the remainder of this weekend. If you would think less about what you're doing and more about what you're thinking and how you're feeling in response to what you're thinking, in other words, your emotional feedback about your thoughts, if you could give your undivided attention to that, then what would happen is you would easily within the day and a half that's left of this weekend get yourself into the vortex if you really want to, and once in there, all the resistance lifts off of you. In other words, you're fueled when you're in it. So let's take your analogy, because it was meaningful to you, and let's lay the vortex analogy over it so that you can really feel what we're getting at here. So you have a candle, and let's say it's you, and it's burning, and let's say that it's burning outside the vortex, and because it's not in the vortex and being replenished, it will eventually burn itself out. But take that same candle, which is you, in your human form and attitude and moods, and coach yourself inside the vortex, now you have an eternal flame going on. Because for every bit of it that begins to burn away, more is replenished. Do you like that?
Yeah.
There is no ending to the refueling, to the resourcing, to the rediscovering, to the new becoming. Now, make yourself feel better by acknowledging that when you're outside the vortex, knowing what you don't, the request into the vortex, which is calling forth all of the cooperative components that are making up that resourceful source, you see. So the worst thing that you could ever do, and the only thing that you could ever do that would be detrimental in nature or not feel good when you do it, is think a thought that takes you outside the vortex. And that's just dumb, don't you think? I mean, don't you know so much better now? In other words, it's like Esther saying to Jerry, well, in a few days we're gonna leave this beautiful haven that we have here in Del Mar. We're gonna leave, and I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And Jerry's looking at her like, please say something different. I don't want to do this thing that I am determined to do. I'm gonna do it. I just don't want to. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna blame you for my unhappiness. I'm going to do it, but who planned this schedule anyhow? I'm going to do it. Oh, I'll do it. 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 I'll carry the burden. I'll pay the price. I'll do it outside the vortex until my candle is burned all the way. And we say, just get in the vortex. Just get in the vortex where you're happy no matter where you are, where you're receiving the benefit of all the rendezvous. In other words, you never planned on standing still in one place. You intended to get out there and mix it up and let the resources of the universe wrap themselves around you and show you a glorious time, you see. Helpful?
Yeah, thanks.